guys and gals, Derry here from Drake Wing Gaming, and some of you know me on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Moonlight Castle. So y'all, before we jump into it, just wanted to let y'all know that our Patreon is now for as little as $5. Y'all can help support the channel and get some awesome rewards like permanent access to our community Discord server and full access to upcoming Not Safe for Work videos. All that for as little as $5, y'all. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump right back in. Alarm chain, you are up, and let's go. Alright. Ryan rescued me by breaking the silence. I wondered if he knew what I was thinking, or if it was just a lucky coincidence. I'm going to lower the volume a little bit. There. Okay. Alright. Is the place doing well? Russell was quiet for a moment. My question must have been tough. Still, he didn't react much. I saw only a slight pause in his movement, although it was pretty difficult to notice. Income is low but steady. We're fine, thanks to our loyal customers. It seemed that there wasn't much emotion in his voice either. Ryan banged his fist on the counter and scared me in the process. I never did well with loud noises, especially if they were sudden. Can I help somehow? I don't want you to lose your job. Ryan was so desperate to help, even though the situation didn't call for it. Just keep coming. Buy your breakfast here and bring more people. The shopkeeper's words seemed good enough to placate the bear's urge, however. I'm okay with coming back. Maybe next time I'll get something to drink, too. Excuse me, there was minimal movement in Russell's head to indicate approval of what I said. Then, soon after that, the bull turned around and concentrated on washing the utensils. Compared to Ryan, Russell was much less expressive and a little more difficult to read. It was as if they were the polar opposite of one another. Ryan paid for his meal, and this time I really wanted to give him something in return, but the bear shunned me. He'd done so every time I tried. Why can't I buy something too? Because you said you can't afford to waste money. Isn't that why you skipped breakfast? I couldn't believe that he just dropped it on me like that. Although I knew he was only trying to look out for me, I couldn't help but feeling bad about it. He'd helped me so much that I wouldn't care that I was running low on cash, and I would have gladly handed over what little money I had left just to help him for once. Let's just go to school. Don't be like that. I wasn't trying to be mean. This is giving me some kind of like Spain vibes, I guess. Yeah, this kind of reminds me of Spain. I walked to the car without turning back, and Ryan chased after me as soon as he finished waving goodbye to Russell. I'm not mad at you. Those words didn't match my tone, and how I let such one simple mention get to me was vexing. The look of concern had never escaped the bear either. Just thinking about stuff. Tell me, talking it out helps. Trust me. I really wish it was that simple, but even I didn't know what I was going through. Talking was the opposite of what I wanted. I'd rather bury these feelings where they came from, down the hole they'd escaped. I wish I could ignore them. I'll be fine. Eventually these feelings would go away, surely. Wouldn't they? I just need a minute. The bear sighed. He must have felt guilty, and the guilt surely was bothering him. I didn't think there was any way to make the situation less awkward. Ryan continued to drive, and after a short while the campus was in sight. Do you have plans for lunch? He stammered several times as he tried to come up with something to say. He probably didn't like that our conversation ended on a sour note, and the silence was adding an extra layer on his shoulders. No, I don't have... Great, I'll treat you to lunch. I shot him a deadly glare. We'd already discussed this, more than once. No, you already got me breakfast. Did you bring your own lunch then? Of course I did. Where is it, in your bag? Are you really going to check without even asking first? Can I? No! Why? Because I said so. You didn't bring lunch, did you? I have enough to buy a small thing later, okay? Can we stop doing this? It's beginning to get tense, but soon both of us realized how dumb we were being over something so stupid. There was no problem other than the one we were trying to make. Huh. I'm sorry. No, I should be the one to apologize. I wanted to help, and I didn't realize I was crossing the line. It's not okay to force you to eat. I don't want you to hate me for it. Are you kidding? I could never hate you. You're super sweet, and I'm the one acting like a brat. Then, what about us sharing lunch instead of me buying it for you? I guess I could use a bite, as long as you don't keep looking at me with those puppy eyes while I eat. You're the one giving it to me. The bear stared at me, probably longer than he was supposed to. I could perfectly imagine the internal conflict he was going through. I'll try. No promises. You're unbelievable. Ryan stopped the car and grabbed his bag. The bag looked way bigger than usual, and he wasn't the type to carry around a lot of stuff. I had to turn in a few late assignments. Don't mind me. I took another look at the bulging bag and wondered if he'd mixed up the definition of a few with something else. Second, y'all. It is water time. Oh, that's good. A few, huh? Don't question it. I'll see you at lunch. Sure. See you later. I picked up my stuff from the passenger seat and left the car as well. Once again, I was alone, or rather just without friends since the building was actually pretty crowded. The entrance was bustling with countless people, and I had to kindly shove aside a few of them that were blocking the way. With only a little bit of a struggle, I managed to pull myself through the crowd and ended up inside the building. Joel, good timing. Come here for a second. It seemed my alone time had come to an end, and it was way faster than I expected. Apparently, the door leading to the student council office was left open, so I caught the current council president's attention as I was shuffling through the hallway. Oh, hello there. The dragon was doing his usual morning routine, flipping through papers, seeking out students, listening to them, and then reporting back to the professors. Surely there was a lot more, but that was all I knew. Surprisingly, I knew so little about the guy and his work, despite having been in consultation with him for a few times now. Good morning, Clyde. Busy as always? It looked like he was indulging mostly in the pile of papers. His eyes were delving thoroughly into the documents. I could tell from his expression that he didn't find exactly what he was looking for. Still, it didn't seem like he was ready to give up. I'm never busy. I'm never busy. I'm operational and active. What you're seeing is trivial. If you don't see me being productive, you have my permission to be concerned. Taking breaks is important too, though. Did you ever get a burnout? I don't have the luxury of going through such an awful thing. I have a strict schedule that I must follow. It appeared he wasn't the type to waste time. I could understand him. To most, work would be the journey, and the profit they earned at the end would be the reward. To him, however, work itself seemed to already be the reward, something that he enjoyed doing. I brought the documents you asked me to. I'm sorry, I can't take them right now. Would you give me 10 minutes? I need to deliver these to the classes on the second floor. Oh, sure, I'll come to the council room again later. I called you here for another reason as well. Apologies for dumping this on you. I'm extremely occupied today. I need you to run an errand for me. Sure, I'll help, but it also depends on what it is. I'm not very good when it comes to, bureaucracy? Is that what it's called? No, nothing like that. I summoned you here because of Blake. Today, he attends the same class this morning as you do, on the 4th floor. However, due to my current circumstance, I can't fetch him myself. Would you please go and get him for me? I'll take your documents then. Sounds simple enough. I got this. I'm grateful. Thank you. How the dragon never appeared to be overwhelmed by anything really impressed me. Not once had I seen him hesitate when doing a task. He just finished talking to me, but for the whole time he was talking, he was also flipping through the papers, signing them properly, and arranging them neatly in a folder. And he wasn't slow either. That guy was a machine, unstoppable and relentless. He'd always followed a strict schedule and never missed a point. And he was punctual to the extent that he'd never even been caught showing up early or late. It was quite stunning to see him do what he did, truly. Having exited his office, I continued walking along the hallway, and then looked at the towering staircase that I'd have to take in order to go up to the 4th floor. As a matter of fact, I considered taking the elevator. However, I didn't like the idea of being stuck in a cramped space with people I barely knew. It seemed my laziness was no match for my social anxiety. Beginning to regret not going to the gym with Ryan, I figured that maybe I should have trained a bit so that the steps right before me wouldn't have resembled a giant mountain. I took a deep breath and began my journey up the blocky hills. After a few excruciating minutes that felt like an eternity, I pushed through. To think that I pushed myself to such an extent just to avoid standing next to strangers. Actually, the more I thought about it, the more I came to realize that I'd totally picked the stairs again. Like, water time. Oh, God. So good. Strawberry-flavored bubbly water, my favorite. I entered the classroom and dropped my stuff on my usual seat. Ryan must have been here because I found his now empty bag lying on another seat. I looked around and tried to identify Blake among the classmates. And it seemed the wolf hadn't arrived yet. Ugh. There's still an hour left before the class, so I was planning to look for him. But then... Yeah! I jumped as my shoulder was tapped from behind. The yelp I made was probably too loud, too, because now all the classmates that were sitting or strolling nearby were turning their heads to look at me. Yo, Joel, relax. It's me. Aw. A person that tapped me put his hands on my upper arms, and turned me around so that I faced him. It was Liam, and from the look on his face, he was most likely startled as well. Certainly the Lynx didn't expect me to react the way I did to such a light touch. He adjusted his glasses and we proceeded to greet each other once the both of us had calmed down. Can we forget that ever happened? I said that in a low voice so that no one else would hear it, and the Lynx seemed to be understanding enough. However, it appeared other witnesses didn't think the same about letting go of my stupid show. Did you see how he jumped and freaked out just like that? Is he okay? Ashamed of myself, I covered my face with my hat as a crowd of classmates began whispering to one another. I really didn't want to listen to any of them. Though soon after that, I took a peek as I heard a shuffle, and it seemed that Liam was digging through his bag. Huh? Oh. He pulled out a creepy mask and wore it proudly in front of everyone. The whispering started to simmer as their attention was drawn to him. This belonged to an infamous assassin who'd peeled the skin off of his victims. It looked like he was trying to help me in his own way by scaring people away from us. He used this knife! Oh my god, what the fuck? Is that a real cleaver? What the hell? You can't bring that into a fucking classroom. Quickly, he raised a cleaver from his bag and flashed it. There was even fake blood dripping slowly from the blade. Some of the classmates realized it was just a silly stunt. Others, with a naive soul, however, began to scream. Liam got a good laugh out of the latter. Soon after that, I carefully emerged from under my hat like a turtle coming out of its shell. Things eventually went back to normal, and Liam returned the items to his bag. Why is he carrying around just a fucking medieval doctor, like, what is it, a plague doctor's mask and a frickin' cleaver? What the hell? Did you just go to the frickin' Halloween store or something? Yeah, he just got back from Hot Topic. Let's see. Hey, thanks for the help. He stared at me without a word spoken. Then an evil-looking grin took shape on his face, and it felt like I already knew where this was going. My immediate response was to groan. Ugh! You owe me one now. I didn't ask for your help. To save your ass, I had to perform a stunt that I'd planned to use on someone else. What if my target was in the crowd and saw it? Then the surprise would be ruined. With such risks in mind, I demand compensation. I'm busy. Clyde asked me to look for Blake. I turned around and proceeded to walk away. I had a bad feeling about this, so the sooner I could leave the classroom, the better it'd be. Where are you going? We're not done yet. He tugged my shirt, and I kept marching without looking at him. However, we were two nerds, and our strengths were about the same, so he was somewhat keeping me in place. I'd walk a bit, and then he pulled back to where I was. Just come with me, then. I'll listen to what you have to say, and if... I'll listen to what you have to say if it'll get you to stop whining like a baby. Liam then let go of my shirt and matched my speed as we walked out of the room together. I really wanted to shake him off, but had absolutely no idea how. So, about the compensation. You're not going to let that go until I give in, are you? It's something fun, I promise. He planned this from the start, hadn't he? I refuse to join you in pranking people. I don't want to scare others, and neither do I want to laugh at them, especially not at their expense. Let's not do anything stupid. Second now, water time. Oh, yeah. You make me sound like an asshole. Come on! My stupid idea saved you, didn't it? I guess? It did, didn't it? I rolled my eyes as my other self began to contemplate how far I was willing to go in order to return the devil's favor. You just need to lure the target to me. I'd never expect it from you. It's perfect. I don't want to be your accomplice. If you want to get in trouble, do it alone. I feel guilty no matter how little I contributed to the mischief. Though, strangely enough, I kind of already knew it was going to happen, and somehow it felt like I was also going to let it happen. I'm just feign ignorance. You don't need to do anything other than bring him where I need him. Who is this person? I'll tell you after you agree. He put on the wicked grin again. I smelled trouble every time I saw it. I don't like that you're not telling me who it is. I have an idea who this person might be, and trust me, you'll get punched, and that'll be well deserved. Joel, please, I swear, just this one time. Actually, I was already giving in to the dark side at this point. If Liam was going to get punched, then I thought it could be a little worthwhile to stick around and see. I'll even do something for you in return. Anything. Look, I can... As we approached the edge of the boys' restroom, Liam stopped in his tracks, and I didn't really notice that until I'd already headed into the restroom. However, realizing that the Lynx didn't follow me, I peeked into the hallway to check what was going on with him. He backed off and covered his nose with both of his hands. We forgot about it, huh? Liam hated the smell of cigarettes, and we should have known that someone would be smoking in the restroom. Blake was also a smoker, so the chances of him being the one producing this nasty odor were high. I'll wait outside, maybe a little further back near that window over there. Okay, I'll be back soon. My search ended the moment I reached the inside of the restroom. It was a small room with just one window in the back, and Blake was there, sitting on his favorite ledge, smoking. Though it seemed that he was lost in his thoughts, as he was the only one admiring the scenery outside the window. Oh, that's a good picture. As I drew closer to him, his ear flickered. Morning, Joel. I didn't get a chance to speak before he recognized it was me. He'd mentioned that each person had a unique way of walking or something along that line. However, they all sounded just the same to me. Hey, Blake, how are you? Rarely did the canine keep his eyes fully open. Only a sky worthy of a stare might give him the motivation to look. I wasn't sure if it was his character or if it appeared so only because of the bags under his eyes. To me, he looked like he was tired all the time. Like a flower standing against the storm, weary and damaged. Beautiful all the same. Prevailing by the youth in his blood. He didn't want to give up despite the fact that Mother Nature had a different plan. I blinked, uncertain of what to make of all the words that he just threw at me. Alright, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out the Patreon if you can. It always helps. Anyway, I love you all. I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!